You know what's great? Things that don't really cost you that much but end up making a pretty big impact on your life. In this video, I'm going to share 10 things that I have purchased for under $100 that have had impact on my life, ranging from being just way better than I thought they would be to being literally fundamentally life-changing, and I believe that they will be very impactful on your life as well. Starting with number 10, Doorframe PullUp Bar. In early 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, was the point where we all thought everybody was going to die pretty much in the next 3 weeks. Everybody was terrified and going outside was sometimes a felony. I did what most people did, which was take a whole bunch of time off work and play video games all day. After about a month, I started to notice that not only was I slowly wasting my life, but also I had gained like 10 pounds. And this was kind of a wake-up call to me. I'd always wanted in the back of my mind to get into better physical shape, but I thought, you know, I don't know how to do that. It seems so complicated. I don't want to go to a gym. And now in the pandemic, I couldn't go to a gym. I found some calisthenic-based workout programs that I could follow at home. I purchased a pull-up bar and also item number 9 on this list, which were some gymnastic rings that I hung from the pull-up bar. I also used some resistance bands. All 3 of these things combined you can get for less than $100. When I started doing my at-home workouts with this equipment, I could not do a single pull-up. By the end of 2020, I had converted my body into the best shape I had ever been in. It was a really big personal milestone in my life. It was the first time I ever really set out with this big goal to change myself, and it really formed a lot of the groundwork for me in terms of gaining confidence and led to a lot of positive changes in my life in the following few years. Next on this list, at number 8, we have a hammock. They are really cheap on Amazon. You can get them for like 30 or 40 bucks with straps and carabiners included. I fell in love with hammocks on a trip to Mount Rainier National Park with some friends. 5 people in 2 really small tents, and I volunteered to try sleeping overnight in my hammock. We were in this campsite with this old growth forest, and I got to fall asleep looking up through the tree canopy at all these millions of stars. It's just amazing to sleep looking up at the stars, and it's way more comfortable than laying on the ground when you're camping. I always used to wake up and, have my back hurt. They're great for camping. They're great for taking on hikes. Go on a hike with a date. You can set up a hammock in a beautiful location, and if you both get in the hammock, gravity pulls you together, you're automatically cuddling. Pro tip. Number 7 is this Nalgene water bottle. Now, we all know we should probably drink more water, and I'm the kind of person who is almost always thirsty, and this thing has made it so that I just never need to drink water from a glass anymore. You can pick one of these things up for less than 20 bucks. They're made in the USA. They are BPA-free plastic. They are dishwasher safe, although I've never done that because I like the stickers. As far as I can tell, these things are pretty much indestructible. Not that I haven't tried. You can see it's pretty scuffed up. This very water bottle has been on a week-long backpacking trip in Oregon. It's been on a 15-mile hike in the Azores, and I filled it up from a waterfall in Iceland. After all that talking, I'm thirsty. On the subject of world travel, you know how when you're traveling internationally, you gotta make sure you pack all these cords and chargers for everything, and then on top of that, you need to make sure that you have adapters so that you can plug your cords into the outlets in whatever country you're visiting? Check this out. Number 6 is a universal travel adapter. This thing is like 20 or 30 bucks on Amazon and allows you to change any plug you might have into either a EU outlet, a UK outlet, or USA, Australia outlet. On top of that, has 4 USB ports on the bottom. And then it also has USB-C on the side there, so you can charge like 5 different USB devices from this and have something plugged into it as well in any country in the world. In line with that same theme, we have number 5, which is this 6-in-1 USB hub. Whenever I travel, I bring my laptop, and my laptop only has USB-C ports, these little guys. This allows me to plug in 2 large-size USBs, a micro SD card, and a large SD card, as well as an HDMI out, so if I want to connect my laptop to a TV screen or a computer monitor. These 2 things, especially when combined, are just must-have travel accessories. They save you from having to bring all of these extra chargers and all these extra ports and these little converters. It's just a nightmare. Get a couple of these things and they will save you so much time and energy, and strangely also money. Number 4, we have the Philips Norelco One Blade. I actually have 2 of these. I know you're probably thinking, how can an electric razor change your life? But hear me out. For the longest time, I was using both a beard trimmer for my stubble and face, and then I would use a razor for my neck. I would always get crazy razor burn, and it was a pain in the neck for me to get my stubble length right. But a friend recommended this thing to me, and I've got to say it has completely revolutionized my relationship with trimming my facial hair. They start at around 40 bucks. They come with some combs for different beard lengths, or you can get one that's a little bit more expensive and they have this adjustable length beard comb. They're waterproof. You can use them with or without shaving cream, and I can use them to get an incredibly clean shave. This is actually a day's worth of stubble, so it was more clean shaven than this. Beard trimming and edging and everything, all in one tool that I have found incredibly useful, and if you're careful, it does a good job on the unmentionables as well. Just be careful because you can still nick yourself. I speak from experience. Now, I know that everything on this list has had a positive impact on my life, but this one was truly life transforming. I was feeling kind of down and a little bit lost, and this thing offered me a lot of clarity and helped me redefine how I see myself and the world in general. And that is number 3, the book The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. If you're interested at all in spirituality or improving, broadening your consciousness, or if you've ever just looked at life and wondered why it doesn't make any fucking sense half the time, I would really suggest checking out this book. It's a practical guide to a lot of answers to those questions, explained in a really easy to understand way. Michael Singer acts kind of as a guide for you to find the answers that are already in yourself, if that makes any sense. It's really easy to read and has a lot of profound ideas in it, I think. Next, we have something that I picked up pretty recently, but I have been loving, and that is sandals. But not just any sandals. These are minimalist, or so-called barefoot sandals. They are designed to mimic kind of as close to walking barefoot as possible. Very flexible, have really thin soles, and zero arch support. They are designed to bend and flex with the contours of your foot. These particular ones do cost over $100, but the same manufacturer does make similar models that can be had for under $100. The design philosophy behind minimalist shoes is that at some level, it's a little bit unnatural for us to be constantly cramming our feet into these inflexible chunks of rubber and foam. Imagine if you crammed your hand into a mitten that didn't allow it to move at all and forced all of your fingers together like this. We would think that's kind of ridiculous, and yet we take it for granted that that's what we're supposed to do with our feet. I was never really a sandals guy before because I always felt like I had these giant clunky like diving boards strapped to the end of my feet, but with these, it's almost like I'm barefoot, which I guess is why they call them barefoot shoes. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. And now, whenever I wear normal shoes, I feel all constricted. Like I can't feel the ground, I can't move right. It's really weird, actually. Now, everything up till now has been in no real particular order, but this is truly what I believe to be probably the most meaningful thing you can buy for yourself for under $100. In fact, it's way less than $100. You can get one for like $10, and that is your own journal. And look, I know everybody talks these days like journaling is gonna save your life and massively transform everything and make you rich and famous. Despite all the resistance I had to trying it in the first place, I thought it was kind of stupid. Having tried it, I would say that it has really revolutionized a lot of things in my life. It's almost like having another person to brainstorm with. You can bounce your ideas back and forth because when you write them down, it creates this level of separation where you can see them reflected back to you and they're not inside your head anymore. Even if you're having personal struggles or emotional challenges, I've found it really helpful to just write down what I'm thinking or feeling. Like, oh, I'm feeling sad or depressed or worthless or whatever. If you write that down and then look at it, you're like, that's kind of dumb. But when it's stuck in your head, it feels very overwhelming and like you're drowning. It's almost like having a coach or a therapist in a book form. They're super cheap, they're even kind of fun to use, and they are incredibly powerful tools for personal transformation. They cost like $10. Get yourself a journal. Leave a comment, tell a story about something that you bought for less than $100 that has really changed your life. It'd be really cool if we could make the comment section of this video an area where people can kind of scroll through and come up with a bunch more ideas for things that might be powerful transformational tools in their own lives. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.